Climate change has caused profound and severe changes in the global climate system, one of the most obvious effects being the melting of ice. Due to human activities such as greenhouse gas emissions, global temperatures have increased. As the average temperature of the Earth increases, the polar ice caps and mountain glaciers have begun to melt at an ever faster rate. This melting not only changes the landscape, but also has serious consequences for ecosystems and humans. In the Arctic, sea ice has been shrinking dramatically over the past decades. Each year, summer sees a large amount of sea ice melt, reducing the sea ice area and increasing the amount of heat absorbed from the sun. In Antarctica, glaciers and continental ice sheets are losing mass at an accelerating rate. Melting of the West Antarctic and East Antarctic ice sheets is contributing to global sea level rise. Climate change is not only melting ice sheets, but also greatly affecting waterway traffic, forcing icebreakers to work at full capacity to maintain important shipping routes. As global temperatures rise and ice melts rapidly, icebreakers must work around the clock to keep vital waterways open. These massive ships, with their power and ability to cut through thick ice, are the unsung heroes of ensuring that shipping in icy regions continues uninterrupted. They work day and night, facing harsh and dangerous conditions to keep shipping and goods moving. Rapid ice loss in the Arctic and Antarctic regions has opened up new shipping routes, notably the Northern Sea Route. However, these new routes are unstable and constantly changing due to uneven melting of the ice, making navigation more difficult and dangerous. When standing in front of thick layers of ice, people feel awe at the power and harshness of nature. The sight of giant icebergs stretching to the horizon, towering ice shelves and white glaciers brings a feeling of smallness and powerlessness before the greatness of nature. With ice melting and refreezing unpredictable, the need for icebreakers is increasing. These vessels must work around the clock to keep routes open, ensuring that cargo ships and tankers can move safely and efficiently. Uneven ice melt results in icebergs that drift freely, posing a danger to ships. Icebreakers must not only clear a path, but also ensure that no icebergs pose a danger to other ships. This requires precision and skill from sailors and icebreaker operators. Changes in shipping routes can affect the time and cost of shipping goods. New routes can shorten shipping times, but also come with risks and costs associated with using icebreakers. This can impact commodity prices and the stability of global supply chains. Melting ice is a clear sign of climate change and the dire consequences it brings. The flood brought with it unimaginable destructive power. Heavy rains that continued for days finally caused the river to rise beyond its safe level. The murky, rushing water swept away everything in its path. The floodwaters are constantly moving, flowing at a terrifying speed. Their power can sweep away objects weighing hundreds of kilograms, even trucks or boats. The swirling currents create dangerous vortices, where everything is sucked in and crushed. Once peaceful homes were now partially or completely submerged. Roofs, brick walls, and windows disappeared under the murky water, leaving only floating debris. People panicked, many climbing to rooftops or higher ground to avoid being swept away. Screams for help echoed everywhere amid the roar of the water and the howling wind. Cars, motorbikes, and bicycles were submerged deep in the water, with only their roofs or handlebars exposed. The floodwaters were fast and violent, pushing vehicles from one place to another, colliding with each other, creating loud noises in the water. The vehicles were swept away by the water, drifting like small toys, helpless before the terrible power of nature. Sometimes there were vehicles that were overturned, their wheels upside down, creating a scene of desolation and mourning. The flash flood not only swept away material wealth, but also took away the community's faith and peace. The confusion and fear about the future, about what would come next, weighed heavily on people's hearts. Rescue and relief efforts are ongoing, but the devastation left behind by the flash floods remains a reminder of human fragility in the face of the harsh forces of nature. In such a context, solidarity and sharing become more important than ever as people come together to overcome the pain and begin the journey of rebuilding from the ashes. The latest landslide in Kerala, India, occurred in late July 2024, causing severe damage and great suffering to the people. The landslide occurred in the Wayanad region, triggered by continuous heavy rains during the monsoon season. To date, at least 188 people have died, and hundreds more are trapped under mud and rocks. The scene was horrific, and the aftermath was devastating. Peaceful villages were buried under thick mud. Many houses were completely destroyed, leaving people homeless and without property. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to search for survivors, but the work was hampered by heavy rains and unstable terrain. Roads were blocked and bridges were destroyed, hampering rescue efforts. The pain and loss were evident in the eyes of survivors, who faced heartbreaking scenes as they searched for loved ones and belongings under the mud. More than 3,000 people have been moved to relief camps, where they receive food, water, and medical care. But rebuilding their lives after the disaster will be a huge challenge. Nature can be a wonder to behold, but it can also be extremely harsh, causing terrible disasters that have a profound impact on human life. Flash floods, storms, earthquakes, and landslides not only destroy property and infrastructure, but also cause human loss, leaving long-lasting consequences.